On this week's episode of PNN, we'll expose the shocking truth behind drug usage on the South Shore.
The ceramics class will take us next door to the senior center to shed light on a unique partnership between the old and the new.
We'll provide you with an exclusive look on the football team's historic pursuit of a championship title.
Then we'll spotlight a Plymouth North senior with a passion for an uncommon art form that has won her recognition across the region.
Get ready, Plymouth North. It's time for PNN. Good morning, Plymouth North, and welcome to this week's episode of PNN. I'm Stacia Cody.
And I'm Pat Fay. As of late, drug usage has become a serious issue in the Plymouth community. The news team at North felt as though this is a problem that everyone should know more about. I sat down with local judges, police officers, and drug dealers to find out more about this growing epidemic. Plymouth, Massachusetts has been America's hometown for close to 400 years. This community that has passed the test of time is now being threatened by an encroaching enemy: illegal substances. Marijuana, hallucinogens, methamphetamines, and opiates are all creating an epidemic of addiction in our hometown's neighborhoods. Plymouth Public Schools and Plymouth Police are struggling to combat the viciousness and ruthlessness of drug abuse within its schools, students, friends, and families. But is it enough? Has the problem escalated beyond a simple cure?
Addiction's a disease that isn't really classified as a disease. Like, people don't understand exactly what that means when you say addiction's a disease. I lost a lot of close friends of mine to addiction and overdose. My younger brother actually became addicted, and he actually lost his battle about like 6 months ago.
To most people, it would be shocking to discover the wide variety of drugs that teenagers are getting their hands on.
I mean, kids have come into my office and told me that they've done everything from, smoking weed or spice to doing heroin. Nothing that a kid could tell me at this point would surprise me.
Local community distributor, who goes by the name of Knockout, explains the reasoning behind selling controlled substances, specifically in the South Shore.
Are the pills you get in from your friends, are they pharmaceutical grade, or do you just have no idea where they're getting them from?
They're getting them from hospitals.
How do they get them from hospitals?
I knew a person working at a hospital, and they would steal doctor's notes and forge them.
Were they like a nurse or just, somebody cleaning the office?
Yeah, just a volunteer.
Oh, just a volunteer, wow. Not down in Plymouth, is it?
Jordan's Hospital.
Plymouth North High School, a place where over 1,000 students enter every day, is directly across the street from what has just been identified to be one of the many possible medical buildings in the area where people could be taking advantage of non-prescribed narcotics. Dr. James Finale of Jordan Hospital, now Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital of Plymouth, discussed these allegations.
Certainly it's possible the prescription pads get stolen, although now I will tell you prescription pads in hospitals are under lock and key for almost anything. You don't see them laying around on the desks anymore because of this kind of issue. Can't say it's perfect, but it's much more vigilant now than it's ever been.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that there's an explosion of synthetic opiate use in Plymouth County. We are one of the highest usage areas in the country.
Though Massachusetts ranks first in the country in amount of heroin overdoses and fifth in the country in marijuana use, with almost 15% of residents admitting to smoking pot, it ranks last in the country in amount of drug-related arrests, There is also a vast difference in amount of drug-related arrests from Massachusetts to the second lowest state on the poll, Hawaii, which is 6 times higher than our state and only 1/3 the population. Equally disturbing is how drug users and dealers perceive Massachusetts law enforcement's response to this situation.
Do the cops notice that when people are under the influence of marijuana driving?
Some of them do. They can pick up on it. A lot of them don't care though, like as much as if it was a drunk driver. Like every person I've driven with high who's been caught has been let off the hook.
Massachusetts is recognized as the state that the police probably have the least amount of power out of every other police department in the country. Just one example. When you pull over a car in Massachusetts, as compared to other parts in the country, at the federal level, a Texas cop could pull you over and immediately tell you to get out of the car. When that happens, when that person is at a disadvantage, drugs can fall out, they don't have time to move around in the vehicle. In Massachusetts, I cannot order somebody out of a car unless I feel that my life is in danger. That's just one example.
I asked some of the participants to talk about how they became involved with heroin. And what was surprising even to me was that many of them said, I started on pills and I thought I could take a pill at a party, and within about 18 months to 2 years, virtually every one of them was using intravenous heroin.
Most popular in Plymouth and the South Shore is the use of prescription pills and heroin. Because prescription pills are so expensive, many addicts turn to a cheaper high, heroin. Heroin's so pure that it accounts for 1 death every 8 days on the South Shore alone. An individual who lives on the South Shore is 10 times more likely to die of an overdose than anywhere else in the country.
I don't know, it's sad to see them like that. What it is it usually starts with pills, and then heroin's more affordable, and they can get their fix for cheaper, so they go to that.
It's a battle, and I think most of the folks upstairs that we see in drug court very much want to stop, and their families want them to stop, and they come in the building here, a lot of them kids that are in their teens, and some of their friends bring them in and say, they say, I'm sick and I need help.
Unfortunately, many people know an addict or suffer themselves from substance abuse. While it may appear as the social norm to experiment with drugs, too often it becomes a destructive regularity which leads to the abuse of illegal substances. We as a community need to make the right decision and help one another. Reporting for PNN, I'm Pat Fay.
Recently, a group of ceramics students took their talents outside the walls to teach pottery to a group of senior citizens. As part of a unique alliance between sister buildings, students visited the Council on Aging to collaborate with community members and establish some unlikely friendships. Dylan DeBruin explains the deep connection Plymouth North students are forming with their neighbors next door.
Beginning a second year at the new school has brought some familiarity for both students and faculty alike. But many still remain oblivious to the almost identical facility right next door. With their grand opening last year, the Plymouth Council on Aging, a locally and federally funded program, has embarked on a mission of providing a safe and trusted environment. With their information and access to programs and services, they hope to help foster healthy and vital lifestyles throughout the aging process. Offering a wide range of activities for Plymouth residents 60 years or older, the Senior Center has proven to be a success.
I think it's fascinating that we're tied in with the high school, and the high school students are teaching us. I just love that.
Constructed side by side, the Council on Aging and Plymouth North High School have planned to work in conjunction, despite age discrepancies, in hopes of connecting the community.
We love having the center next door to the high school. We absolutely love it. We know this is going to grow into something really spectacular between the seniors and the students. We know it's going to change the way both of them are looked at.
Recently, an art class from Plymouth North ventured to the Senior Center to use skills learned in class in an out-of-school assessment where students taught basic ceramic skills to seniors.
Here you have two sort of brand new state-of-the-art facilities side by side And wouldn't it be great to have a collaborative between two very different age groups in the community?
Both the students from Plymouth North and the senior participants at the Council of Aging were greatly affected by this exceptional partnership that connected two very diverse age groups.
It was nice to hear some of their life experiences, and I thought it was really nice to get together with them and learn about their lives and connect with a different age group than our own.
Connecting young people and older people is just absolutely fantastic. We learn from you, you learn from us. We get a little bit of interaction in what's going on in your lives, and you get a little of what's going on in our lives.
As our school community gets more connected with the Senior Center, we hope to see more activities involving the seniors and the students. Reporting from PNN, I'm Dylan DeBruin.
Ceramic students aren't the only artists at Plymouth North to share their creations with the community. Jill Panora is a Plymouth North senior with a knack for designing real costumes modeled after fictional characters. We'll find out more about this student's unconventional art form in this week's Student Spotlight.
With Halloween night approaching, people are getting dressed up into their costumes. Jill Panora, a Plymouth North senior with an unseen talent, actually makes creative costumes as a hobby. Cosplay, short for costume play, is a global phenomenon that is sweeping the nation. It involves costume making and role play that excites gamers and comic book fans alike. Jill explains just how much work is put into the costume making process.
It's a really, really long process. It goes from just going through all the characters that you're interested in and trying to figure out which one's achievable for you, and then you have to draft it out, draw each piece of armor or cloth, and then make patterns and fabric, and it takes months before you actually get to the point where you use the real fabric and make a real thing. And it's just a lot of planning and progress and guessing and crying. I usually spend my whole weekend doing cosplay stuff, and then a couple hours during the week because school and homework and band and stuff kind of gets in the way, but I do dedicate a lot of time to getting things done. Mostly just being on the internet a lot. You see a lot of stuff related to the games you play and the stuff you like, and you see people dressed up as the characters you play as and you love, and it's I want to do that too.
Jill's family and friends have noticed how much work she puts into creating these designs. Jill's greatest supporter, her mom, elaborates on Jill's diligent work ethic and marvelous products.
I think it's pretty cool. It's not easy to take a look at a picture and actually make something out of it. Those pictures are renderings of people who don't actually exist, and she has to take the product from beginning to end. No pattern, no idea what fabric to use or products to use, and it takes a lot of imagination.
The costume that she makes, they look exactly like it. It's scary. I could jump, I could walk outside and Jill stand there, and I would think that that lady is in the game. It's that crazy. It didn't just blow your mind.
Although cosplay is a fun activity for Jill's downtime, it has taken a drastic toll on her wallet. Jill describes how much money she puts into her craft.
I'm broke. I use way too much money towards cosplay. Pretty much my entire income just goes straight into Joann's Fabrics or anything else because I try to be as frugal as I can with it, but a lot of stuff just costs money and there's nothing you can do about it.
Though expensive, cosplay is an art form that has impacted Jill's life for the better. Jill describes how she has been influenced by this unique pastime and how she will incorporate it into her future.
It's been great. It's been a huge help with my motivation, and instead of procrastinating, I have to get homework done now so I can make this piece or get something done. And it's a huge confidence boost when you go into a giant crowd and everyone knows what character you are and they think you're awesome. It's woo, it's really cool.
Jill's talent for costume making has won her numerous awards, and many more are in her bright future. One can only imagine what she has planned for Halloween. Reporting for PNN, I'm Mike Souza, and this has been your Student Spotlight.
Jill relentlessly pursued her passion in order to reach impressive heights with her work. This kind of dedication is common in all aspects of life, in things ranging from art to academics and even to sports.
The football team will show us where determination on the field took them when the Eagles attained immense success in their postseason, accumulating in a nail-biting face-off against Plymouth South. Hugh's over at the sports desk to fill us in. Hugh?
Plymouth North saw numerous triumphs last season, but one team in particular had record-breaking success. Reporting from the field, Here's Brad Feeney with more on the Plymouth North football team's impressive last season.
North's football team has made a remarkable run on the road to Gillette. Claiming a league title and a spot in the division finals, the 2013 Eagles have carried themselves to an achievement only made 5 times in Plymouth North history. Plymouth North has found success this year, winning 5 out of 7 games in the regular season.
Well, we've had our ups and downs early on, and I think we found our way after like the 3rd or 4th game, and kids have really bought in and done a great job. We've gotten better every week. That was the goal of the season. Hopefully, you get better every week, and we have done that. And our record has shown that we've gotten better every week, so we're very happy where we are.
The team's hard work and dedication early in the year set the tone for the entire season.
We had a whole new coaching staff this year. They brought in a whole bunch of new coaches like Coach Willis and Coach Sipp, and some coaches have bigger roles than they did last year, like Coach Aborn. And our practice is just really focused and really tough, which they need to be. Got us to where we are now. And off the field, we had team dinners, which were really fun and interesting all at the same time, and that really brought us together as a team and a unit.
But the Eagles took it beyond the regular season this year, qualifying for the playoffs and a chance to play at Gillette Stadium. After defeating Nauset and Dighton Rehoboth, North battled it out with South for the South Sectional Division title. After a scoreless first half, North put 6 on the board to open up the bidding. A delayed snap would result in a failed point after, leaving the score at 6-0 in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles were clinging to their slim lead throughout the second half until South tied it up late in the 4th quarter. A successful point after would decide the game, resulting in a 7-6 loss for North.
I don't know, it's tough to play a team twice in a season. They know our offense, we know theirs, so it was a very close game.
The Eagles remain optimistic, however. Juniors and sophomores plan to pick up the pace that this year's seniors have set and start focusing on next year.
Well, hope it's just a building block. Hopefully these young kids will understand that, what it takes to be successful. We just didn't just come on the field and be successful. It's all the hard work we do in the off season and every day of practice and every day, all the time. So hopefully they will continue on that, the work ethic that has been bestowed down to them from the older kids and mimic that and continue to, and we'll have success in the years to come.
Although the season has come to an end, North's playoff run has marked the conclusion of a truly legendary year. Reporting for PNN, I'm Brad Feeney.
Listen up, Plymouth North, because it's time for news and notes.
Seniors, make sure you've submitted your senior portrait and senior bio to the yearbook committee by the end of the day.
Costume volleyball will take place Thursday, November 14th at 3 p.m. in the gym. See Miss Humbard or Miss Glynn to register your team.
This senior class is selling lanyards for $5. If interested, contact a student council member or Miss Allen to make a purchase.
That concludes this week's episode of PNN. I'm Pat Fay.
And I'm Stacia Cody. Thanks for watching.